Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Simran Harichand. Can everybody hear me okay? Because we don't have a mic. Fantastic. Well, I'm here to tell you about how you can supercharge your Performance Max campaigns in 4 simple steps. But before I go into that, I'll quickly introduce myself a little bit more. As Maddie mentioned, I'm a paid media specialist at Hallam. I've been in this role for about a year and a half now, and prior to that, I was doing my master's in marketing from the University of Nottingham. And if I could give you 2 completely irrelevant facts about myself, I am obsessed with cats to the point that I have one tattooed on my collarbone. And if I was in jail for some reason, I'd ask for tacos to be my death row meal. Odd, I know. But coming back to paid media, I'm that generation of specialists who saw smart shopping get completely replaced by Performance Max campaigns and the whole wreck of panic that came after that. But now I run them quite effectively for many of my clients, so I'm really glad to be here to tell you how you too can optimize your campaigns. So before we go into the how, let's look at the what. What is Performance Max? So for the benefit of those who don't know, Performance Max is a Google campaign whereby you define your goal, what your business objective is, and then you give it all your assets. So you give it your images, you give it your videos, you give it your product feed, and then Google will go auto-generate ads for you and show them to people who are likely to convert. So what that means is you can now run search, shopping, YouTube, Gmail, display, everything from one single campaign. That sounds quite fancy, but why should you do it? What's so special about Performance Max campaigns? Well, firstly, I'll answer my own question, that's fine, no need to answer it. Well, because you can run across so many different ad placements through one single campaign, you can now find your customers where they are. So whether they're looking for you on Google or they're watching a video on YouTube, your Performance Max campaign will make sure that your ad is present there. And secondly, because you can do so much from one single campaign, making admin time much smaller and reporting time quite less as well, you have more time to make strategic marketing decisions. So you can focus on what your campaign structure will look like or what kind of creatives you want to use instead of spending your time actually setting up the campaign. While this sounds great, takes so much work off our plate, great fun, when it was first launched in September 2022, there was this generic sense of panic amongst a lot of marketers, clients around, we're losing control, we don't know where our money is going, which channel are you spending my money on? And I can appreciate that. In today's world, almost everything is smart, or machine learning is a part of almost everything we do today. And it can hinder visibility. You can feel like you have no control over what your ads look like to the people who you're targeting. But the whole point about machine learning is that it can analyze data signals at a speed and in a volume that is not possible for humans, which means you can get to your business objectives much faster. So instead of fearing automation and fearing machine learning, we need to work alongside it so that we can leverage our marketing efforts. We need to give our Performance Max campaigns the data and the assets it needs so that it can perform well and get us the revenue we're looking for. So how do we do that? How do we give it the assets? If that's the question you're asking yourself, then you are in the right place. So the 4 ways that you can supercharge your Performance Max campaigns are, firstly, product segmentation. How do you want to segment your massive product portfolio so that all your products get the visibility and then you can maximize your profitability? Secondly, what kind of audience signals, data signals can you give your Performance Max campaigns to sort of hint at what kind of people you want to show your ads to? Thirdly, you have creative optimization. What kind of assets can you give your campaign so that you can stand out amongst your competitors and you can provide your customers a holistic experience, so whether they're seeing your ad on YouTube or on search, they know it's your brand. And lastly, use of scripts. Performance Max comes with a lot of data invisibility, if I can use that word, and scripts can actually help you get more insights into what the working of your campaign is and help you make more informed decisions. So we'll dive straight into it. Firstly, product segmentation. When it comes to product segmentation, especially with Performance Max, which focuses so much on maximizing revenue and profitability, you want to make sure that all your products get visibility. Because in a market where all your competitors are segmenting their products, but if you just chuck everything you have in one asset group, chances are you will lose your competitive edge. So in order to protect it, you need to segment your assets and your products. By segmenting them, you also then manage to tailor your creatives and your ad copy and target the right kind of people. How do you do that? Well, when it comes to Performance Max, because it's all around value, it's all about value generation and revenue, you want to then segment based on the value they can generate for you. So one of the things that you can use is the BCG matrix or the Boston Consulting Group matrix. For those of you who have not heard of it, this is a marketing framework that is used in portfolio management so that we can teach businesses how they can focus their resources to maximize their profitability. And I've sort of drawn on it to explain how you can segment your products so that you too can then focus your resources on maximizing your profitability. So the BCG matrix breaks down products into 4 segments: cash cows, star products, question marks, and dog products. What are they? Cash cow products are products that sell well and have a really nice chunky average order value. So you know they drive revenue for you because they sell a lot and they're expensive and maybe you have a high margin on it. So for example, for the purpose of this talk, we're going to assume that we all own a furniture business because that's all my examples. So the example for a cash cow could be a dining table that you know sells really well for your business, has a nice expensive value, and it's literally the cash cow of your business. Then you come to star products, products that sell really, really well. They might not be expensive though. So they sell well and generate you a lot of revenue just based on the volume. So like a kettle that sells like hotcakes can be revenue generating for you, can be a star product. Then you have question mark products. When you put all your products in one asset groups, your cash cows and your star products are likely to just steal all the budget, and then you have this massive chunk of products that didn't get enough impressions, so you have no idea how they perform. So breaking them into a separate segment means that you can actually bring them the visibility that they deserve. So for example, a nice cozy garden chair to match the summer vibes can be an example of a question mark for our collective furniture business. And then you have dog products. I'm not sure why they're called dog, and as a dog lover, I'm personally offended by that, but they are products that don't perform well because maybe it's a niche or maybe you're not price competitive. So like a Yankee candle that is available in every store and you know you have a higher margin on it, chances are it's a dog product. What does this look like in practice? How do you know which of your products are cash cows, star products? You can look at your internal data, your sales data, or you can look at your past campaign performance and then see which products are generating revenues for you, which ones are not, which don't get visibility. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you look at your internal data and you see that your dining tables and your fireplaces actually generate a lot of money for you and they're quite expensive. So they are your cash cows. So you can make a campaign for your cash cows and then you break your asset groups by product category. Don't call your campaign cash cows, it's just an example. And then you repeat this exercise for the rest of the products. So your star products, your question marks, and your dog products. And that way, you can tweak around your budget, give it a separate target return on ad spend, target cost per acquisition, and that way you can maximize your profitability. Now that you've segmented your products, what's the second way to optimize your Performance Max campaigns? And that is through audience signals. Now, the first thing I want to make very clear is that audience signal is not the same as audience targeting. Performance Max will not target the people you want it to target. It's going to use machine learning to find the people who will bring you your business objectives. But by giving it audience signals, you're telling Google's algorithm who your ideal target market is, who your ideal customer is. So you can elevate your campaigns and give them a head start before the machine learning even kicks in. There are various different signals that you can give your campaign. It can be in-market, demographic, so on and so forth. But the best kind of signal are those signals that are high intent and quite specific audiences. But what do I mean by high intent and specific? What I mean is, these are the 4 recommendations, things that you know, people that you know have interacted with you before, or people who know who are searching for you. So to go slightly further down, firstly, you have website visitors. People who visited your site before have engaged with you. So if you drive very high quality traffic to your website from all your marketing channels, then this is definitely a good audience signal to give to your campaign, because you are telling Google the kind of people who come to your website, and you're giving the algorithm information about that. Secondly, you have past buyers, buyers who've purchased from you before. This is prime audience. You are educating Google's algorithm about your customers, and so it can then go ahead and find you new people who look like your current customers, who are then likely to convert. Thirdly, you have keyword lists. You can make a custom segment of all the keywords that your potential customers may be searching for you, be it directly or indirectly related to you. These lists, for example, can be really good if you've been running search campaigns in the past. So you will probably have a list of really high converting keywords that you can chuck into a segment and actually provide Google's algorithm the information about what kind of keywords to look for. And lastly, you have competitor websites. This is your chance to tell your campaign who your direct competitors are, the people who are competing with you, and this is an audience of all the people who visit your competitor sites or sites similar to your business. So by giving your campaign audience signal, while you may not be targeting those people, you are giving your campaign a head start, a jump start, to go ahead and use your data signals when necessary to optimize targeting. You've now segmented your products, and you've added audience signals. So what's the third thing that you can do? And that is creative optimization. We often don't talk about creative when it comes to paid because it's so numbers focused and you just want to be driving revenues, but Performance Max is now here to bridge the gap between paid media and creative. So if I could describe Performance Max in one word, I would call it hungry. It is absolutely hungry for your assets. It wants your videos, it wants your images. Because when you run across all available placements, then you need the creative to suit all the inventory. So then you have to go through the process of providing it images, providing it a product feed, and providing it a video. None of those things are optional. If you don't give your Performance Max campaign a video, Google will make one for you. And while I'm sure templates will get better in the future, maybe today it would be ideal if you give it an asset of your own. So the big advantage of creative optimization, especially in regards to product segmentation and audience signals, is that you can tailor your creative and you can tailor your messaging. So for example, if you have an asset group for dining tables and your audience signals are people who look for certain keywords related to dining tables, you can then make sure that your video is about dining tables, and you can make sure that your images are maybe your best-selling dining tables, and you can maybe write a cheeky ad copy, put in a discount code because you know these are people who are willing to buy and just looking to spend. So that way you can just create an environment for your customer that is more tailored to them, more personalized, and likely to result in higher engagement rates. But one of the things that I've seen with businesses, the struggle has always been, we don't have the resource to make all these videos and images and everything that Performance Max needs. And that's a fair concern, but there are quite a few options out there, like something as free as Canva can be used for you to merge a couple of still images, turn it into a GIF, use it as a short video in your Performance Max campaign. You can also use paid for platforms like AdCreative.ai or GenCraft. The caveat with AI-related image softwares is that human input will always remain important. Because I used GenCraft, and I have to admit I gave it a very vague prompt. I said, a happy person sitting on a dining chair. But what it gave me was a bit jarring, and I don't think I will be using it for any of my clients. Like, I don't even know what that is. But the whole point remains that while AI is here and it should definitely be used, human input is extremely important in the form of prompts and in the form of quality assurance. So while you can rely on Google to make that video for you, this is why you maybe want to have a last say before it actually goes live. So now you've added your product segments, you've given it the audience signals, you've optimized your creatives, you've experimented with it, you've seen if AI-generated creatives work better than human-generated creatives, your campaign is live. But what next? What can you do more? Well, one of the complaints that we get with Performance Max, in fact, I am a big part of the people who complain about it, is that there is lack of data visibility. You have no idea what that campaign is sometimes doing. Until recently, you couldn't even see which asset group was actually generating revenue for you or spending your money. And you still can't answer questions like, which channel is my money being spent on? Is it on search? Is it on YouTube? Is it on shopping? You can't answer those. But while we wait for Google to give us those answers, you can use scripts to counter the lack of data, because you have so many different scripts in the industry written by experts that can actually help you dig further in and find actionable insights. While there are loads of scripts, I'm going to point you in the direction of two that I quite enjoy myself. So firstly, you have the spend allocation script by Mike Rhodes. So if you work in PPC and even use LinkedIn for 5 seconds, chances are you've heard of it. But if you haven't, that's fine. This script basically pulls data from your campaigns and tells you exactly which channel your campaign is spending its budget in. It also tells you which channel is generating revenue for you. And it gives it to you in raw form, it gives it to you in visual form, but it gives you the ability to then find what more you can do with your Performance Max campaigns. So this is a screenshot from the script when I ran it for one of my clients. So what do I mean by insights? So if we just look at the first blue bar, you can see that 95% of my spend is actually being used on shopping. While that is great, because it's an e-commerce business, there could be some conversions happening on the search engine or in the search platform that you're missing out on. So maybe you can create a search campaign, add a dynamic search ad group so that it can catch the conversions that your Performance Max campaign may be missing out on. Similarly, if you look at the last campaign, about 45% of the spend is on display. Great, that's fine. You can now test your creatives, you can try a new ad copy, you can try a new image and see what works better and what gets you more engagement. So just by looking at one graph, you have like 3 things that you can do with it. So if you actually use the script, there's quite a few actions that you can actually get out of it. The second script that I absolutely enjoy is the script called Labelizer by Floris de Schrijver. This script uses data from your campaigns to tell you which of your products are performing above your conversion targets, below your targets, on target, or near target. So this goes back to how important product segmentation is. So as you can see from this example, 48% of the cost is actually being spent on products that generate me only 18% of the revenue. So by actually segmenting your products into performance-based campaigns, you can avoid this kind of situation and play around with your budget so that you're getting more bang for your buck. So I'm going to quickly summarize that the 4 ways to supercharge your Performance Max campaigns are to segment your products so that they get maximum visibility and get you maximum profitability. Add audience signals so that campaign's algorithm has the data when it needs to rely and make an informed decision. Optimize your creatives. Make sure that they resonate with your audience. Make sure that they are valid for the people who are actually looking at your campaign. And then lastly, use scripts to get more information, get more out of your Performance Max, and optimize it better. So don't let anything stop you. Supercharge your campaigns now. Thank you.